Good evening. It's 5:03 p.m. and the regular meeting of the Planning Commission of the City of Lancaster will please come to order. Tonight, I will offer a brief invocation. The pledge will be led by Vice Chair Harvey. So if you'd all please stand. Our Father God, as we meet to deliberate Planning Commission matters, please guide our hearts and our minds in the spirit of fairness, right thought, and speech. Impart your supreme wisdom upon our activities so that our endeavors may reach fair conclusions. We also remember and ask you, Father, to bring your healing power upon our colleague, Commissioner King Moore, during his extended recovery. Give him and his family strength during this most difficult time. Thank you for being our source of guidance today, and I pray in his name, amen.
Amen. We ask that you remain standing and join us as we honor this great nation's flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have the roll call, please?
Chairman Vos,
Here.
Vice Chairperson Harvey,
Present.
Commissioner Burton,
Present.
Commissioner Derryberry,
Present.
Commissioner King Moore is out or absent, Commissioner Tufts,
Present.
and Commissioner Underwood is also absent. We have a quorum.
All right. Thank you. As you can see, we have two new members joining us this evening, Commissioner Burton and Commissioner Derryberry. And if you don't mind, I'd appreciate if you'd introduce yourself and maybe give us just a little brief background. We know who you are, but others may not. So if you wouldn't mind, please.
Absolutely. Good evening, everyone. My name is Devin Burton. I'm an educator for the Antelope Valley Union High School District. I also work for General Atomics. I am an elder and deacon under Councilman Doris at Living Faith Cathedral, and I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner.
Hi, good evening. Stephen Derryberry, longtime Lancaster resident. My wife, 3 daughters, and I live here in town. Glad to be on board. I have a law practice for the last 16 years now in the Valley, so just looking to serve the public even further. So glad to be appointed. Pleasure to be here.
That's great, and welcome both of you. This evening, let me find the rest of my agenda, and then we can be up to speed here. Public business from the floor. If anyone wishes to address us this evening regarding any business before the commission, we ask you to fill out a speaker's card for the recording secretary so we can keep track of who wishes to speak and when. Individual speakers typically are limited to 3 minutes each. So first action item tonight is the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of August 15th, 2022. So may I have a motion, please?
I'll put forward the motion, the approval of the minutes for the regular meeting of August 15th, 2022.
Thank you. Second, please.
I'm going to second, even though I wasn't in attendance, since we don't have a quorum, but I'll second.
Thank you. All right, anything further? Please vote. Didn't work? Want to rewind it? There it goes. Okay, good. All right, passes 3 with 2 abstentions because they were not members or present at the time. So we're good because we have a quorum.
Correct,
Okay.
we're still good.
All right,
You're good.
Thanks.
She read.
All right, then. The continued public hearing. The public hearing is open on tentative track map number 83346, which includes a variance of 22-01. And for the record, we've received, prior to the meeting by email, a Caltrans letter dated August 4th of 2 pages. And I don't believe we received an approval letter from the applicant. Ms. Garabay, I believe, is presenting.
Yes.
We've heard this before, but
Yes.
go right ahead.
All right. I'll give a brief summary, which you already did. Good evening, Chairman Bose and members of the Planning Commission. The item before you is a request for a subdivision of approximately 27 gross acres into 111 residential lots and a variance for the reduction of lot depths located in the R7000 zone. The item was last heard at the August 15th Planning Commission meeting where it was continued. Since that hearing, the item was renoticed, including an updated sign with the correct address for City Hall. Owners and occupants within a 500-foot radius were given notices about the hearing, and the notices were posted in the AV Press, at City Hall, the library, and on the city's website. So, with that, staff recommends the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 22-25, approving tentative track map number 83346 and variance number 2201, and adopting a mitigated negative declaration. This concludes staff's presentation. If you have any questions, myself and the applicant are here.
Thanks, Ms. Garabay. There may be some.
Okay.
Members, anyone have any questions or comments? No? All right, then. No speaker cards on this one?
No speaker cards, Chairman.
Okay. The way the agenda is printed on the recommendations, it covered what you said, Ms. Garabay, but it did not cover the adoption of the mitigated neg deck. So, whoever offers the motion should include that portion in the recommendation. So, who would like to offer a motion? Yeah, you can, sure.
I move to adopt resolution number 22-25, approving tentative track map number 83346 and variance number 22-01 to include the negative declaration met.
Thank you. A second, please.
I will second that.
Thank you. So it includes the adoption of the mitigated neg deck and the mitigation monitoring program. So we're straight so far. Early days yet. All right, then. Any further comments from anyone? All right, then, please vote. And the motion passes 5-0 with 2 members absent. All right, we now have a new public hearing. So without objection, the public hearing is open on zone change number 22-01, tentative tract map 71210. And for the record, we received a 27-page tome from California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Interesting reading. And somewhere I guess we didn't get a Caltrans letter on this, right? No? Okay. All right. So, do we have speakers on this one?
No speakers on this.
Okay. I didn't ask on the previous one, but we didn't as well, so. All right. So the presenter on this, Ms. Garabay, again? This is your night.
I guess so. Okay. The item before you is a request for a subdivision of approximately 40 gross acres into 169 residential lots and a change in zoning from R10,000 to R7,000. The subject property is located between Avenue K and Avenue K8 on the east side of 55th Street West. The subject property is surrounded by vacant land in all directions. Lot sizes within the subdivision would range in size from 7,000 square feet to 13,000 square feet. All of the streets within the development would be private. In addition, the project site includes paseos, 2 open space areas with a community center, picnic areas, a dog run, tot lots, and a swimming pool. With that, staff recommends the Planning Commission adopt resolution number 22-27, approving tentative tract map number 71210, adopting a mitigated negative declaration, and recommending approval to City Council for zone change number 22-01. This concludes staff's presentation. If you have any questions, myself and the applicant are here.
Thank you, Ms. Garibay. So we did receive also an uncontested letter from the applicant's representative on this one as well.
Correct.
So, members, anyone have any questions or comments or strong feelings? No? I noticed from California Department of Fish and Wildlife in their 27 pages of comments, and then reading through the mitigated neg deck that you all have prepared, seems to me that what staff has prepared and is recommending is certainly adequate and based on our previous history of analysis of projects of this type, right?
Yes.
Nothing extraordinary here that we should be concerned about? All right, very good, thank you. All right, then, anything further from anyone? So we'll close the public hearing without objection and consider a motion.
I'll put forth a motion to adopt resolution number 2227, approving tentative tract map 22-01, or tentative tract map 71210, zone change 22-01, and the declarative mitigate negative declaration and recommending approval.
Very good, thank you. Have a second, please.
I'll second.
Thank you. So it's been moved and seconded. Any further comments, questions? None? Please vote then. Motion passes 5-0, sorry, with 2 absent. All right, and the next item is also a public hearing, which is open now on tentative tract map number 61600, including a variance 22-02. Ms. Alvarado's presenting on this. I know some folks came in after we started, so if anyone wishes to address the commission on this last item, then we ask you to fill out a speaker's card if you care to speak to us. Certainly not obliged to. Ms. Alvarado?
Good evening, Chairman Vose and members of the Planning Commission. This item before you is tentative tract map 61600 with variance 2202, which is a request to allow for the subdivision of 6.87 gross acres into 32 single-family residential lots in the R7000 zone. The variance would be for the reduction of lot depth standards. So the proposed project includes a subdivision of 3 parcels into 32 single-family lots at the northeast corner of 59th Street West and Avenue K14. The variance for reduction in lot depth would allow for the six of the lots to bring their lot depth to just below the standard of 100 feet per code. A notice of public hearing was mailed to occupants and residents within the 500-foot radius of the project posted in the subject property and noticed in the newspaper. Staff has not received any opposition. Staff recommends that Planning Commission adopt Resolution Number 2228, approving tentative tract map 61600 with variance 2202 to allow for the subdivision of 6.87 gross acres into 32 single-family residential lots and adopting a mitigated negative declaration. This concludes staff's presentation. Myself and the applicant are available for any questions.
Very good, thank you. For the record, we received a two-page correspondence from Caltrans on this. A letter from Antelope Valley Air Quality Management District, and only an 18-page letter from California Department of Fish and Wildlife. They must be running short of paper up at Sacramento. Important stuff. So, Ms. Alvarado, you want to, is there anything in the CDFW's communication that gives you concern?
No.
Nope. It's okay to speak up. You know, you can use your outside voice here, it's okay. Right? All right then, members, anything? No? All right then. Do we have any speakers on this?
No speakers on this, Chairman.
All right, very good. All right then, we'll close the public hearing without objection and consider a motion.
I move that we adopt resolution number 22-28, approving tentative tract map number 61600 and variance number 22-02, and adopting a mitigated negative declaration.
Thank you. May I have a second, please?
I will second the motion.
Thank you. Anything further from members? Then please vote. Motion passes 5-0 with 2 absent. All right, that concludes our action items this evening. Comments from Miss De La Cruz?
Good evening, everyone. Wanted to personally welcome Commissioner Derryberry and Commissioner Burton to the Planning Commission. We've had an opportunity to meet beforehand and talked about all the great things that we're doing as a city, and there's more to come, and exciting things that are in the pipeline, some current planning that you will see that's traditional items, and some really great and progressive special projects that you'll start to see in here in the coming 12 months. Next month, the October meeting, you will have an overview of what we are working on for our VMT project. You recall we started talking about VMT, and you'll get an overview at the October meeting on what in fact we are doing with VMT, how that will impact development for the good, and how to address the VMT requirements. So please be here. I won't be here. I will actually be on vacation, but you all should be here because it's a great presentation. Jocelyn Swain, our senior planner, will provide that overview for you at that meeting. The other update, just so that you're in the know, the City Council took action on the update to the city's alcohol ordinance. Some of you may recall you voted on that a month or so ago. The City Council voted on that unanimously. Well, not unanimously, apologies, but they voted, the motion passed to make the changes and place the item on first reading. The council will do second reading at their next meeting, and the ordinance will take effect 30 days after that. So that will definitely streamline the alcohol applications that come through our door. So good news all around there. And just busy months. The next few months are full agendas. So please let me know if you are unable to be here. We do have more members of the commission, so our quorum is definitely easier. But just as a reminder, we do need 4 members to have a quorum. So any absence will definitely impact our ability to hold a meeting. But we are on schedule for October, November, and December. The December meeting will occur during the agenda review day. That way it's a little earlier in the month and everyone can still have their free time and start their holiday planning. So that's all I have to add. Thank you.
Very good. A preliminary review of the VMT program. Is it the intent to adopt a citywide VMT conditional approval, so each applicant will not be required to do a VMT study, or are we still attempting to make them all do it?
The VMT program, it's an environmental document that we have taken on. It's an EIR that looks at mitigation citywide. Each project will still be required to prepare a VMT study, but the mitigation associated with VMT will already be pre-planned, if you will. The intent is to have a fee, an in lieu fee, that would help pay for the mitigation measures that have been identified in the EIR document, if that makes sense.
So if there's a potential mitigation fee, then the city council then would have to adopt that fee schedule?
Correct. Correct. And that's part of the study and preview that you will all see.
So that's a different approach than we've used in the past, fee-wise, sort of.
Yeah. It is definitely different. It's new. We're the only city currently in LA County that's taken this approach. Other cities are watching us. We are in the lead. I do believe it was San Diego is looking or did something similar. And we are really leading the effort and the charge on that.
Very good.
Actually, Ms. Swain was invited to be a guest speaker at the APA conference because this is such a critical thing that a lot of communities are dealing with, and no one really knows what to do with it. So we've taken a really proactive, aggressive approach to do the EIR, to identify mitigation, because our development community can tell you it's incredibly difficult to mitigate for VMT in communities like ours, where
Absolutely.
you have a commuting group, basically. People drive out of here to go to work.
Yep.
So,
Very challenging. That's,
yeah.
at least that's the feedback I'm getting. So that's why I asked the why daddy question here.
Yeah. And the idea is you will all get a preview next month, and feel free to ask questions, feel free to just chime in, and we will take action the following month. That way you have a good opportunity to review it and to understand the program.
All right, very good. And where does the state stand with the Western Joshua Tree listing?
The next hearing is scheduled for mid-October. So hopefully we'll know something by our next meeting, and we can be able to provide an update, but there isn't, it's still 50-50. We don't know if it will officially get listed or not.
Well, the mitigations that we recently reviewed in the California Department of Fish and Wildlife correspondence outlines the process of review and analysis and take, right? So is it anticipated that it would be a broader requirement than is currently being imposed because it's a species of special concern as opposed to a listed endangered species?
We don't anticipate the process of the incidental take permit changing at the state level because even though it's not officially listed yet, they are treating it as if it were endangered. The process should not change. It's a very rigorous process now for a tree that's not officially.
Are we taking the lead on behalf of the development community in that regard in facilitating those processes, or are we burdening the development community with the process?
The state is placing that burden on the applicant. The city has no involvement, nor would they entertain any involvement from the city to speak on behalf of the applicant.
Okay. Well, it's interesting, which I'm sure you've read, those recent comments from Fish and Wildlife, suggesting the city shall or will or should, right? Become the lead, at least that's the way I read it. But that hasn't excited anybody in your shop, huh?
Not as of yet. And that's not to say that we won't explore other opportunities similar to VMT, where, you know, the cities could, in fact, do a program EIR that would account for the trees and create and develop a program. But really, everyone is waiting for the official listing to occur. We're a few weeks away from that. We have a few things that we can start thinking through, but it's not official just yet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hope you get to feeling better.
I am, thank you. I apologize, I'm recovering from pneumonia, but I'm here and I'm standing, so I'm good.
All right, very good. All right, time for the commission's agenda. If you members have anything you wish to bring up, add, discuss? Nope? All right. Time for public comments from the floor. This is the time when the public has an opportunity to address the commission on any non-agenda items, anything that you wish to speak to us about. We ask you to fill out a speaker's card, and you're welcome to speak for 3 minutes. So do we have any takers tonight? No? All right, very good. All right, since there's nothing further, then we'll stand adjourned to our regular meeting of October 17th, 2022 at 5 p.m. here in these chambers. Thank you very much, and thank you, staff, for your efforts tonight.